This video brought to you by Bodega Cooler. Consider a Bodega Cooler for your next RV, overland, or camping adventure. And Liner-X, custom fit floor mats and cargo liners for your car. Check out Liner-X for all of your vehicle protection needs. And Fast Wheels, a proudly Canadian alloy wheel brand covering a wide range of alloy wheel styles. Hey guys, welcome back to Ed's Garage and day 7 of the cross-continental EV road trip. So we are day 7, first week coming to an end. As you can see, we're in a rather heavily littered spot just off the freeway. So that's the freeway right there, Trans-Canada Highway. And we basically made it here last night. If you didn't watch the previous video, we crossed Manitoba. It took us about 9 hours to get across Manitoba. We took a picture at the Ontario sign, and there's a crane flying over there. That's cool. And then basically we just tried to find any spot to just park for the night. So we got here at about 10:45 roughly, somewhere around there last night. It's currently 8:30 in the morning, and we're just making some coffee and then we're going to take off. So yesterday as we were driving, I decided to drive a little bit faster, and I think I found the sweet spot for pulling the trailer is about somewhere around 105 kilometers an hour. Beyond that, if there's any sort of cross breeze or whatever, we do get a little bit of trailer pendulum effect. So 105 seems like a sweet spot. I can take it up to 110 sometimes, depending on, by the way, this is between 60 to 70 miles per hour. But then, as long as it's a nice flat straight road and there's no wind, then I can take it up to about 110 kilometers an hour. And that's seems to be okay as well. As far as consumption goes, it's not really changing a whole lot at those speeds, but I haven't really got a good read on it yet because we haven't been doing it long enough. But I didn't really see it go beyond about 32 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And that honestly isn't that far out of the normal from what we've been getting. I've been getting anywhere between 28 to 32 kilowatt hours per 100K, depending on, the terrain, the wind and stuff like that. So far for the entire trip, we've now done just over 2,500 kilometers. We've passed the center of Canada, which is pretty cool. I'll see if I can find that on the dash cam, because unfortunately we passed by it, didn't even realizing that it was there. So we weren't able to stop and turn around or everything because we were on the freeway. But yeah, we've been averaging, the car says 29 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers is the average over that entire 2,500 kilometer trip. So yeah, pretty good. It's about half the range of what I would normally expect. So that's pretty good. Basically everything that people who have towed before have said is pretty much accurate. You lose about half your range. I actually originally thought I was going to lose about 40% of the range, and honestly maybe I am, because I've never really driven these kinds of slow speeds before. So I think if I were to drive these slow speeds without the trailer, that I would probably do significantly better than half of 29 kilowatt hours per 100K. So I'd probably do better than 14 and a half kilowatt hours. But maybe not. That's something to test for another day, I guess. In any event, so a quick update on glitches and things that have gone wrong. These stickers right here, they're proving to be a bit of a nightmare. As you can see, it's kind of messy here. Basically, this is a printable waterproof paper, which was probably not the best idea. But as I'm Dutch, I like to do things inexpensively, and I couldn't find a supplier to get these printed in vinyl quick enough anyway. So I just kind of printed these on. I printed these up, and then I adhered them on with 3M adhesive, which sucks. So right now they're being held on by Gorilla adhesive, which is definitely doing a better job. Unfortunately, I got a lot of overspray because, well, I had to do this basically in the middle of nowhere. But they're still, you know, they're expanding and contracting in the warm temperatures and whatnot. So it's not working out all that well. So if you're watching this and you happen to know some place that can print me out vinyls in a relatively quick period of time, let me know in the comments below. Currently, we just entered Ontario and we're going to be heading to Montreal over the next couple of days. So if there's anything in between that you guys are aware of, please let me know. And I'll see if I can get in touch with them and get some proper vinyls printed out. I'm going to have to scrape all this mess off of the trailer before I put them on though. So that'll suck. But anyway, as far as the other issues, I have found one little annoyance with the car that's kind of driving me crazy, and that is the parking sensors. When you disable the parking sensors, every single time you take the car out of the gear you're in and put it into a different gear, like if you're in reverse and you put it in a drive, or you take it out of reverse, put it in park, and then put it back in reverse again, they're back on. The parking sensors keep coming back on, and it's driving me crazy because obviously I don't want to have the parking sensors on when I go in reverse, or even forwards when I'm going at low speeds. I don't necessarily want the parking sensors on. So there might be a setting for that I haven't, you know, there probably is a setting for that. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can permanently disable it. But what bothers me is that when you press that button, it just doesn't, you know, keep it disabled for that powered on state. It's every single time you change gear, it puts it back on. Just aggravating. So I'll see if I can fix that. All right, let's see if it's possible to stop that sensor thing. Okay, so vehicle setting and parking safety. Parking distance warning auto on. Automatically activates parking. All right, so I'm going to turn that off. Provides warning and emergency braking when a risk for. Leave that one on. And leave that one on because I'm not going to be backing up without the trailer connected anyway. So, no, you know what? I'll leave that on actually. Okay, so I'll turn all of that off and we'll see if it just stays now. Okay, so when I put it in reverse, see what I mean? I just turned that off. Okay. Let's try this again. Parking distance warning auto on. What the hell? All right, well, see what I mean? There's no way to turn off the parking sensors permanently. That's not right. There's got to be something wrong there. Maybe there's a software update needs to be done or something, because yeah, I mean, what's the point of having the button to turn it off if it just comes back on the next time you put it in park and then put it in reverse again? So yeah, that's a super aggravating, annoying function in this vehicle that drives me crazy. We have 9,033 kilometers on the vehicle so far. I gotta say, the seats, super comfortable. I have not had any numb butt at all on this entire trip. I am so happy about that, because that is one of the things that obviously anytime you go on a long road trip, you're always worried about, right? But are always noticing. But in this car, nope, the seats are fantastic for that. So great road tripper car. The lane keep assist, lane follow assist system, adaptive cruise control, that all is fantastic. Even with the trailer, it's able to maintain its position in the line, so you can just have a light hand on the wheel. And you know, it doesn't really bother you that much that your hands aren't on the wheel. If you're going down a really, really straight stretch of road, then yeah, sometimes it just doesn't know, and you gotta give the wheel a little bit of a tug. And that corrects it right away. So that has not been annoying at all. It's actually been really, really nice. Now you're probably wondering how often we're having to stop with this trailer. The car with the trailer can go a maximum of about 280 kilometers. That's essentially what we've been noticing. However, we've been stopping between 200 to 250 kilometers just to have that buffer and just in case, you know, what charging station is down or whatever. And that's worked out really, really well for us. We've, you know, any time that we need to stop, we generally make it a food break. So this morning, you know, when we go to charge, we'll be charging in about probably an hour and a half after the next, after I stop filming and we start heading out. It's about an hour to an hour and a half to the next charging station. So we'll probably charge there and have breakfast. And then we'll charge while we're having lunch, and we'll charge while we're having dinner. So it's working out really, really well. And quite honestly, it's making for a nice relaxing trip. We're not in a hurry. And for that, it's working great. And I think anybody that's pulling a camper trailer, generally you're not going to be in a hurry. But I can totally understand if somebody's pulling a trailer for work or something like that an EV probably isn't going to be ideal for you, because you'll definitely get there faster with a gas car or a gas truck or whatever. But it's a heck of a lot cheaper. We've done 2,500 kilometers now, and we've spent about $230-ish on charging, and that's using pretty much mostly the fastest, most expensive chargers that are available, which unfortunately through most of Canada, that's all that's available, is just these 50 cents per minute chargers. So that's got to change. It should be charging by the kilowatt. It would be a lot cheaper if these charging stations actually worked properly and we actually got the speeds that they promised. Because pretty much for every single charging station we've been to, run by Petro-Canada, we have not seen, proper speeds. For Petro-Canada, we've been to easily, 10 different Petro-Canada stations now, and one has gotten over 200, and it's only gotten over 200 kilowatts for a very, very brief moment. It was about 5 minutes of 234 kilowatt charging, and then it ramped back down again. And that's, quite frankly, super disturbing. What I will say this, though, Petro-Canada, yesterday we were at a station in Manitoba. I don't remember exactly where it was anymore, but there was a couple guys there that were helping out because one of the stations didn't want to connect. So there was two guys it was funny, they were doing like garden maintenance there, but they worked for Petro-Canada. And they came by and they shut the charging station down and rebooted it. So shout out to those guys. I'm sorry I didn't get your names, but they were super helpful. Another quick shout out to Petro-Canada. I've been doing a lot of complaining about Petro-Canada on this trip. But I promised the guys that helped us out yesterday that I'd mention this in the video, and I will because it's important as well. But Petro-Canada actually has a program. It's called Caremakers. Check out caremakers.ca for more information on this. But basically, they help support with revenue that they get from things like car washes and whatnot. They actually help support the people that support people in need. So that's pretty cool. So there's all these programs out there for people who are in need. For financial assistance and support and whatnot, but not necessarily for the people that are trying to help those people out. So check out caremakers.ca, because I think Petro-Canada is doing a pretty good thing helping those people. All right, so we're about to take off, and our next stop is Longbow Lake in Lake of the Woods, Ontario. So we're very excited to see this area because we've had several people talk it up and make it sound amazing. So we're also very happy to be out of the mosquito hell that we were in here in Ontario, right at the border with Manitoba. The mosquitoes are just fine. There's not very many. There's a few, but it's not many. All right, we'll see you at the next station. Here in Dryden, Ontario, charging at an Ivy station, and these stations actually have been pretty good. Unfortunately, this one is not working, but the other one's working fine. Yeah, the drive between Lake of the Woods and here was kind of boring, wasn't much to see. I haven't got a video up the last couple of days here just because it's just been a lot of driving and not a whole lot of time. Every time we stop and stand around somewhere, we're inundated with questions and follow-ups and whatnot, so just haven't had a lot of time to edit, so I apologize for the delay. But anyway, yeah, everything's going well so far, and we're going to see where the road takes us. All right, so day 7 is coming to a close. It's currently after 7 o'clock sometime, and I need to do a little bit of editing, so we decided to go ahead and find a campsite while the sun was still out. Well, sort of. It's currently setting over in that direction, but we found a beautiful spot. Check this out. Had to do a little bit of mild off-roading with the Ioniq 6. Not something you necessarily want to do very often, but yeah, it's a nice spot. It's not too bad for mosquitoes just yet, but they are here. So I do have some bug spray on already, and I've got a couple of thermocells sitting here by the door of the trailer to hopefully ward them off a little bit. Now these thermocells are currently running off of refilled cartridges. I bought some permethrin insecticide. You mix it 5-to-1, and then you pull the little wick out of the thermocell cartridge and you fill it up. So hopefully these work. This is the first time I've tried using them with that stuff in it, so I guess we'll see what happens. But they are misting. I don't know if you can see the mist coming out, but I can see it standing here, but it's hard to see on camera, I'm sure. Anyway, our last charging stop was in Uppsala, Ontario. Uppsala sounds like a Viking temple, but there wasn't much there. There was just basically one sort of storefront gas station and a couple of IV chargers. And again, they worked great, but they're a little slow, only 50 kilowatts. We were charged $37 for an hour and 23 minutes. So it's a bit pricey, but they work consistently and provide the full 50 kilowatts that they're rated at. So nothing wrong with that. But what I'm doing right now is I'm actually charging from the trailer, because we got here at 90%, and I figured, you know what, I'll use what power I have in the trailer to just go ahead and I don't know if it'll top up. I guess we'll see. It's not going to top up because I'm going to stop it when the battery's down to about a quarter left, so that we can make coffee in the morning and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. I don't know if this is the end of the video or if not, but if it is, thank you so much for watching. If it's not, stay tuned for the rest of the video. That'll be day 8, I guess. Tomorrow we are going to try to get to Thunder Bay. So we'll see Lake Superior for the first time in my life. Not in an airplane. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Till tomorrow.